Good evening, everyone. Susan Campfield here with SueStampfield.com. Welcome. You're either watching me on my Sue Stampfield YouTube channel, or perhaps you're catching me over in Facebook on my in my Sue Stampfield Facebook group, where we have passionate paper crafters hanging out and having fun. Or you might be on my Facebook business page, which is Susan Campfield, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Wherever you're joining me, welcome. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm so excited today to share with you the Flowering Tulips bundle. So this is part of the brand new mini catalog that just started today. So yeah, fun stuff. So we've got Bonnie here, Patricia's here. Excellent. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I appreciate it. Drop me a comment. Let me know where you're watching. Actually, I can see if you're on Facebook or here on YouTube. So, oh, Kathy's here. Linda's here. James is here. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Thanks for being here with me tonight. So today, the brand new Stampin' Up! Mini catalog started. Big day. Yay. There's the camera. So this catalog is going to go January through June. And then we have the celebration. So you can really maximize your value right now through the celebration offerings. For example, if you spend $50, you get to pick one of the level 1 free things. So yay for free, right? We're going to create a beautiful card tonight. We're using some really cool new dies that have a 3D property to them. So hard to explain, better to show. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to flip the camera here. Hey, Barbara in Rochester, Minnesota. Heard you guys are going to get some snow tomorrow too here. One moment. Sorry, I muted my mic there. There we go. Okay, so now we're down at my work surface here. I will try to keep an eye on the comments, so please let me know if you have any questions as we're going along here. I'm going to try and slide my phone. No, I'm not, because I'm going to cause problems. Just do it a touch there. You can see a little bit easier. So no snow yet. Yeah, cold. Yep, it is cold for sure. So we are going to be using the Flowering Tulips stamp set and the tulip dies tonight. And these are really, really cool because they have this 3D property. So I'm going to show you the finished card here, but before I do, I'm going to show you in the catalog where you can find them. So it's part of the Flowering Field Suite on page 14, 15, 16, and 17. But 16 is where they show the stamp set full size. You can see which of the dies cut out the flowers there. It's kind of vanilla colored for the ones that can be die cut. And then there's a look at the dies, but we're gonna do a closer look. We're gonna do a deep dive into those cool dies today. We're gonna mainly focus on building one flower type for this video. I'll briefly show you the parts for the others. The next video will be concentrating on a different flower. And I'll warn you right up front that I'm building it a little different than how it's shown in the catalog. And you know, it's up to you, right? It's your project, so you can do it however you want. Yeah, 50-mile-an-hour winds does not sound fun at all, Mary. I totally agree with you on that. So let's go ahead and get started. I did want to mention, if you are not currently a subscriber to my weekly project sheet emails, and if you're someone that sometimes struggles for ideas or how to use certain products, I put a lot of time and effort into making sure those are filled with value. I'm just trying to find, where's my banner? Well, that's weird. Yeah, I'm not seeing my my link. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. Sorry about that. That's the if you want to subscribe to my project sheets, there is the just go to www.suestampfield.com and click on subscribe, and you'll be all set. So let's go ahead and get started here. And Oh, sure, things are going to fall. Now we're going to use the Flowering Tulips bundle. We're also going to use one of the free items because, hey, if you're buying stuff from this catalog, you're probably going to be getting free choices. So I like to showcase those. One of my favorites is one of Susan's highlights. I love words. I can never have enough words because I get tired of using the same words all the time. And I love this Special Moments stamp set. So we're going to be using that tonight. It just has some really, really great greetings, great fonts, some things that are a little bit unusual, like thanks for brightening up my day. It's kind of something a little out of the ordinary, but also your classic, with sympathy, happy birthday, of course, but it's just some kind of fun, different fonts, and then just some really nice. Kind of this one I like because it's kind of exclusive to card makers. We're going to be using that tonight. Just a card to say you're amazing. I guess not to card makers, but to card senders, right? So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pop back to the comments here so I don't miss anything. All right, so these are the fantastic dies. Now, some of these cut out the stamped images, and we're not going to be playing with those tonight. That will be future videos. Tonight, we're going to focus on these, and in particular, 3 of these to cut out the tulips. We're also going to be using the leaves. So this leaf and this leaf are tulip leaves, and the stem. Now I've already die cut those, so I'm actually gonna leave them on here. This one is a fun little peek through grid pattern that you can die cut on the front of your card if you have a color behind it. It could just be a nice way to break up. If you make your card and you're like, oh gosh, there's just way too much white space or too much not so exciting, it needs a little something something, but I don't want to add a ribbon, I don't want to add embellishment. This is a great way to kind of spark up your card. So this is, of course, a really fun border die. Again, we playing with that in a future die. This is to die cut the stem. So these 2 dies are actually multi-purpose. You can die cut the stamped images, or you can just die cut the leaves and use them not stamped. We are actually going to stamp them tonight because I do think it adds a lot of depth to your project. So I'm all for that, right? So, oh gosh, where to start? I'm going to show you the card. I told you I was going to show you the card, and I didn't show you the card. So this is the card that we are making tonight. And I don't know if it comes across on camera, but it's a very, very 3D effect when you do these special dies that have a built-in fold to give them that 3D. And we're going to actually even be putting a dimensional in between there to add extra depth. But really, really unique dies, really, really cool. So it can add a lot of spark. Now the thinking of you, of course, comes from our Special Moments, and then that just a card to say you're amazing. And then we have this new faux linen ribbon that we're going to use to finish off our card. The paper here, you might recall from the last video. Hang on, let me see if I can. Oh, of course I can't grab him. Oh, here we go. Sorry. The last video I shared these cards done with this beautiful Flowering Fields Designer Series paper. And we are using a different pattern from that pack tonight. This one that is kind of a little bit more muted pattern, less busy for this card, because I really wanted the tulip to be the star of the show. And I'm making this card for a swap. My Stampfield Stars team, those are people that have joined under me to be demonstrators. Many of them are hobby demonstrators, or they just do it to get the discount, which is 100% okay. And we do card swaps. And so right now we're doing a 1-for-1 swap, and this was one of my swaps for that. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to start, let's just start with the tulip, guys. Let's jump right in with the tulip. Then we'll do the card, which is pretty quick and easy. So I'm going to bring in, we looked at these tulip dies. Let's take them off here so that we can have a better look at these. These are the ones you use to build the flowers. And there are 3 different flowers that you can build. Those are the ones that have these built-in score lines. So you can see those longer dies are the ones that are going to form the flower bases. And then you use them with the other dies. Now this die that has kind of a dip in the middle. So another demonstrator described it as a V, and I kind of can see what she's talking about. That one is actually one we're going to use for 2 of these flowers. We're using it for this one and this one. And then this is more like a tulip bud. So a tulip when it's a little bit tighter and closed. And that one pairs up with one of these little shapes. This one pairs up with the V. And then you can bring in one of those. And then this one pairs up with the V. And I also like to add one of those. So so those are kind of how you build the different tulip flowers. This particular one is really useful. So let's go ahead and bring in, should I die cut them? Probably should, huh? Let's see. Oh, hey. Oh, how convenient is that? I got a little mini boss right here. Just sitting here waiting to be useful. So let's put it to work, right? So I'm going to take my real red cardstock and my Poppy Parade cardstock. I like to add depth to my tulip by doing 2 different colors. So my V die, or that insert die, is in the Poppy Parade. And then the small one that's tucked behind and the big one in front are in real red. It's up to you if you wanted to do the lighter on the outside and the where's my V die? Here it is. And the darker on the inside. You could play around with that and see if you like that look. I'm going to put this little guy right in here. All right, there we go. Just big enough paper. I'm making sure that am I cutting the right one? Which one are we making tonight? I'm trying to remember. It's this one right here. I got confused. Okay, yeah, that's the wrong one. That one we're doing in the next video. And it's going to be pink. Don't tell. I love a bright pink tulip, but I also love really bright red tulips. So tulips come in a lot of different colors, and they're just really springy and happy. So they're perfect for so many occasions, right? All right, so we've got our 3 pieces here. This way I can build it, and then I can show you what the pieces look like before we built it. So we can kind of look back at that. All right. So this is the one we're building. I don't know. This one is even a deeper V, isn't it? I'm not sure what we can call that for a nickname, but all right. Let's slide. You know what, guys? I get nervous. It's not fun to lose a die. I lost one of my tulip dies last night, actually. It's apparently stuck on my sweater sleeve and ended up on the other side of the room on the floor. And I caused a bit of a panic. So I being extra careful and putting them back where they belong here before we go on. Sorry, thanks for your patience. Okay, so we've got our different tulip parts. We've got our stem and our leaves. So let's concentrate on building our tulip. It's so easy. So right here, I'm going to bring this up as close as I can. There is a score line, and it's just lightly scored. I'm going to bend on it so you can see it. With this particular flower, this join is very, very, very skinny. So do be careful when you're building your tulip. Be a little cautious that you don't do what I did on this one where it got bent backwards. So so be a little careful there. But you can you already see how that's going to be forming that tulip, and we just need to fill in the inside. So that's where this piece is going to go, and this piece is going to be mounted with a dimensional. You can use a mini, or I guess we call it a maxi. I'm going to use a mini. It just gives me a little bit more control. So I'm going to put a mini dimensional on the back of the Poppy Parade kind of V-shaped insert piece. I'm going to pop it inside. And there are a lot of different ways that you can build these tulips. There's no, you know, wrong way or right way. So you can see it's starting to build there. We're going to tack this down with a glue dot. I did try it with a dimensional and I didn't like it. It was too, what's the word I want? Not fluffy, but seriously, I had glue dots right out here. Does anyone see them? They're probably right in front of my face. All right, no one panic. I got some across the room here I can grab. I hope that I'm not the only one that happens to. Do you ever do that when you just had it a second ago and it just like vanishes? All right, so I'm going to peel back here. I've got my glue dot right there. This is where I like to use my take your pick tool to pick up that glue dot and put it right where I want it. And that is right inside here. So it's almost like this is the blazer and this is our shirt that's inside of it. So I want to make sure it's not visible. So I'm going to put it on the right side because that's where the wider tulip piece is. And I'm going to fold that around. Okay, so that's going to hold it in place, but it still gives it a lot of dimension because it's got a dimensional back here, and then it's not attached here, so it's adding extra depth. Then I have this piece. Remember we cut this little tulip that's kind of like a bud or a petal, and this one I like to tuck back behind. Now you would not have to. You could actually leave that out if you wanted to. I just like adding that extra fluff, extra petal at the back of my tulip. But you could do some this way and some this other way and put them together in a bouquet, and then they look a little bit different. Again, I'm going to attach a glue dot. This time I'm going to put my little tulip right on the glue dot and pick it up that way. And then I'm going to slide it behind. Now I put my mini dimensional over here, so that's giving me room to slide this tulip into place. Hope that makes sense. And you could position it, you could, kind of wiggle it around however you want. But can you see the kind of 3D effect there? No, I see your chat, Debbie. You're good. You're like me. You lose stuff that's right in front of your face. Oh, thank goodness. I'm so glad I'm not the only one, you guys. All right, so we've got our tulip built. Now that wasn't scary, right? That wasn't hard. I think these dies, when I first saw them, I was a little intimidated because I wasn't sure how to proceed, right? But once I started playing with them, I'm like, oh, you could do it this way or you could do it that way. And you can look at the ones in the catalog you can tell by looking at them kind of how they did them. So, but this is where we started and this is where we ended up. I hope that's clear. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's bring in our leaves here. And we're going to bring in the leaf stamps from the Flowering Tulip set. Now, these leaves are nice in Old Olive this way, just plain. But if you really want the wow, we don't want one of Susan's pears in them, no. It's really fun to add in the, why do I have this here? Okay. I don't need a cutting plate right now, do I? All right, so we've got a larger leaf that goes with the larger leaf, obviously, and a smaller leaf. And we're just going to ink this up in Old Olive ink. This is a photopolymer stamp set. So in theory, it's very easy to line it up. I say in theory because I have horrible eyesight, you guys. It is really not good. And the older I get, the more not good it gets. So, and I just got a new pair of glasses, which is great. But my prescription actually went down, which is also great. But it means that I have a little depth perception deal going on right now. So we'll see how I did. I'm a little off, but I can live with it. All right, so we're going to go to this one and ink this one up. Let's see if I can do a better job here. Sometimes it helps too if you have it on the stamping cushion. It gives it crisper image, but it also kind of gives you a better outline. You can see where the edges are. There we go. So-so. All right. When I'm not on camera, do you know what I do? I get really, 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 really close. But if it got really, really, really close, you guys would just see the back of my head. So I'm going to add a little more ink on this one, just on the one side. All right, there we go. I think I went in exactly the same spot. So can you see how that adds just extra 3D look to those leaves by adding that texture? Now, I did Old Olive on Old Olive. You certainly could do a darker color to really make it pop. So you could do maybe Mossy Meadow on Old Olive, because that's even a tone darker. So again, up to you on how you want to do that. All right, so we're ready to put our tulip together. I'm going to use glue dots for that. You could also use multi-purpose liquid glue. Totally. Oh, Susan, you also have, you're my soulmate here. You also have poor eyesight as well. Yeah, they said cataracts are in my soon-to-be future as well. So, all right, we're going to put the glue dot right on the tip of the stem there. I don't know if you can, I don't know if the camera's focusing on that. No, it's focusing on my hand. There we go. You can see the glue dot there. And then I'm just going to attach my flower. Now, if depending on your card, you can put the flower down lower. You can even nip some of the stem off if you want, or you can leave it full length. I went for this one, I actually went pretty high up. On my card, I think that one is a little bit longer. So it's just up to you how you want to do that. These I'm also going to, I'm off camera, sorry. These I'm also going to attach with glue dots. And the reason I'm attaching them with glue dots is because it's going on a card. It doesn't matter if there's excess sticky behind, because that'll actually help it stick on the card, right? So I'm going to put a glue dot here. You also could instead put the glue dot on the leaf instead of on the stem. Totally up to you. Doesn't really matter. And as you may recall, tulip leaves come up from the bottom of the stem instead of like a flower where they're up there. They're typically come up from the ground. You actually can do these, you know, whatever direction you want. I usually do them this way, which just seems more lifelike to me. But again, it's up to you how you want to do that. So I've got a glue dot on there. I'm going to peel it on, and I now have a tulip that is stuck to my desk. Come on. There we go. All right. So there we have our tulip. We're ready to put our card together, which is going to be really fast. So I'm going to slide that out of the way, bring in my cardstock here, and I am going to show you just quickly how to put the others together. Again, in the next video, we'll concentrate on the other flowers a bit more. But I'm going to show you really quick just so you've got it all in one video. If you're going to build your tulips and you wanted to do a quick replay, you can find them both here then. So I have my card base. This is a standard card base here in the United States, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of that beautiful Flowering Fields paper. This one is the only one that doesn't have tulips all over it. So it's the one I chose for this card so that it wouldn't detract from my tulip. It is 1 inch by 5.5 inches, and I'm going to mount it so that there's a little bit of the black card showing. So I'm not going flush to the edge. I'm leaving, I don't know, what is that, about 1/4 inch? Grab an adhesive here. So I'm going to take an opportunity here to talk about the Seal Plus adhesive. This is a very strong tape runner. And if you have this one, here is a little trick for you. So if it's not going, you can advance the wheel with your finger. And then this one has a little bit of gold on it. And you're going to pull it towards you. And then when you're ready to break your string or lift it up, actually tilt it forward. This particular adhesive, sorry about the little gold that's in there, it has little score marks in it. You can see the little lines there. So when you tilt it up like that, that breaks it off and it keeps the adhesive right at the edge of the roller so that it's you don't have to advance it next time. I hope that makes sense. And if you do ever have where it won't come out and you can't get it to advance, you can also go on a previous sticky piece and it will grip on that and it will pull there. That's way more than adhesive than I needed, but it gave me an opportunity to show you how to use that Seal Plus. All right, let's bring our card back in here. Attach this. There we go. And I'm just going to put my flower on my card right here. And to do that, I'm going to add, it's a little bit bent there. I'm going to add some more glue dots on the back. I love glue dots. You could certainly use multi-purpose liquid glue. You could even use dimensionals if you wanted it to really stand off the card. But it is really fragile, so might be better to have it tacked down, if that makes sense. And one more here. There we go. We'll put that right up here. You know what? I'm throwing one more on. I don't want this tulip going anywhere. Here we go. All right, so we've got it nice and gluey and ready to stick onto our project. And again, this one I made a little bit shorter than my first one. I'm going to have mine kind of arcing this way. There we go. So we've got our tulip on there and we're just going to add our words and we'll be all done. So I have a little strip here that is 1/2 inch by, I want to say 2 1/4, and that would be wrong. 1/2 inch by 2. And I'm going to use, again, that Celebration stamp set. Now, this one is a huge stamp set. Where did it go? Right here, the Special Moment stamp set. I think there are 21 stamps in this set. This one is a $100 level Celebration item. So if you place a $100 order, you can choose this for your free item. We're going to use this on both the outside of the card and on the inside of the card. So I'm going to ink up Thinking of You here. Probably should have cleaned my stamp first. We'll see how I go. Flipping it over, trying again. Especially with black ink, it's a good idea to clean your photopolymer stamps so they kind of get a little bit of a, oh my gosh, you guys. Can't hit anything tonight, can I? I'm going to blame my camera setup because I'm leaning around the camera to stamp. Yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. All right. We're going to go here with just a note, to just a card to say you're amazing. But with this card and a Thinking of You sentiment on the outside, you could really, it could be for anything, right? It could be, I'm stalling here. Hang on. Hold the phone. Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just not happy with that one. I got to do another one. It's just a little scrap of paper, right? I've got a million of them. I just got it a little too high. This doesn't work. I'm going to stamp it off camera so I can see it. Okay. Yeah, that was still a little wonky. I'm going to pull it in front of me. I know you guys can't see it, but I can see it a whole lot better over here. All right. I'm happier with that. I'm going to go ahead and hear this inside. I have a new camera holder coming that's will solve some of these problems, I hope. So excited for that to arrive. All right, we're going to just pop our insert in. The insert piece is 4 by 5 1/4. Again, the card base was 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, kind of your standard card. And then this I am going to pop up with dimensionals. I'm just going to use mini dimensionals. You guys saw me stamp that a lot of times. Okay, and we'll pop that right on. I'm going to bring this one down a little bit farther than I did on my original card because, again, on this one, I chose to make my tulip a little bit shorter by mounting it a little bit farther down on the stem. So the stem goes all the way up here behind the flower. One more thing, we're not quite done, are we? We're going to add a ribbon to this card, which would require Susan remembering where she put the ribbon. Got a dog barking at me downstairs. Oh, the ribbon is under this card right here. Okay. So this ribbon is the Faux linen ribbon from the mini catalog. So another brand new, pretty product. And it is in real red. This paper here is Poppy Parade. And if you recall, our tulip has both Poppy Parade and real red in it. So stalling while I find my scissors here. So it's perfect, right? We've got the red ribbon with the poppy paper that's just going to kind of carry through with our card. Put this here. Now, on this card, I did not put a glue dot behind to this piece. I actually did on my other one. So if this is sticking up more than you like, absolutely tack it down with a glue dot. I would not do a dimensional. That's how I kind of ripped this piece down here. I didn't rip it, but got a kind of a weird fold in it. I did put a dimensional back behind this piece. So of course, we're just going to quickly trim our, find some scissors that don't have, oh here, these aren't sticky, yay. Trim our ribbon here. And there we have our poppy card. There is something about black and red that is really striking, isn't it? Really jumps off at you. Let's see, we were just going to briefly do a recap on how to do, not a recap. We're going to talk about the two other flowers. This will be quick. So this other flower has 2 scores. Our first one just had 1. This one has a score here and a score here. And they cross at the bottom, and then you tuck this piece inside, and then you can add this extra petal. You can add it right behind. I actually like to add it in front, right here. Again, there's a lot of options with these. There really isn't one must do it this way. You could actually just even leave it with the 2 pieces and not do the third. Lots of choices, but I personally on the next video we'll be doing it in completely different colors and some pinks, and we'll be doing it this way. And then the other one, this one also has 2 scores on it, so you fold here and fold here. This one is more like a tulip bud. Now in the catalog they have it shown, I believe, you know, I like to do it this way. Maybe that's upside down, but that just makes more sense to my brain. Actually, I think you can do it either way. So you can do it this way. There you go. And have this tucked in here for a little something extra color, different color. Or you can flip it around, put this piece inside and fold it like that. So this one can actually go, I think, either way. Again, play around with it and see what's more comfortable for you. And it depends if you put that petal on the inside or not, because it is kind of roughly at the bottom. So it's probably meant to go this direction and could even be done without a piece inside. So how do you know which dies to go with which flowers? You're going to watch this video. And if you get my emails, you're going to have a little chart that's going to show you what I suggest. And again, once you start playing with them, you can switch them around. Like they said, there's no rules here, right? We get to make up our own rules. But it is nice to have a suggestion of what goes nicely together, right? So I will have that in the chart when I send out our next project sheet. So watch for that. And I'm going to slide those aside. And thanks for joining me. You can also join me for the next video where we'll be focusing on that middle flower. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on notifications, you'll get notifications when I go live. Or if you're in on my Facebook page, if you like my page and turn on notifications, same story there. It'll announce when I go live next. So that is all for tonight. I'm just going to turn on the camera so I can say goodbye. Oh, you're so welcome, Myrtle. And your catalog is, I hope you got, I don't know if you got your catalog yet. It's on its way. This morning, about 44% of them had been delivered. So I'm hoping by tonight, a lot more of them will have been. So thanks so much for joining me, everyone. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.